Police continue their investigation into a double shooting at a home in Longview. It happened in the 700 block of Alta Street early this morning. KLTV's Jamie Boyam reports neighbors say the home in question has given them uneasy feelings for some time now.
Erica Torres lives just down the street from where the shooting occurred. Although some neighbors I spoke with were awakened to the sound of gunfire, others, like Erica, slept through it.
I've been here for 10 years and I feel safe here, but hearing that these things happening so close, I mean, here, it's kind of scary.
According to Longview Police spokesman Brandon Thornton, shortly after 4 a.m., several Longview police units arrived on scene.
There were a total of 2 victims, one adult female and one teenage female, both with apparent gunshot wounds. They were transported to a local hospital with life-threatening injuries.
After the victims were taken in, police established a crime scene around the house and into the street and
called in our detectives and our forensic detectives, and they took over the crime scene and are still in active investigation.
Police were present for about 4 hours before the street was opened back up.
That is typical. When you have a crime scene, it takes a while to process that crime scene. Our detectives go over the crime scene very thoroughly for any clues that might lead to an arrest.
Thornton says the shooting happened outside the home and was confined to that property. He says there is a connection between all involved parties. Erica says she used to get some exercise walking by that home, but hasn't done that in some time.
I don't know, it's just weird to walk by that house with people and stuff out that is like, I don't know, I just feel like it's like kind of a mess.
Jamie Boyam, KLTV 7 News.
Longview police have not arrested and released any information about a suspect or any suspects, and they're asking anyone who has any information about the case to give them a call.